The world's most advanced warship arrived in the Middle East, and what followed sent shockwaves through the region that no government could ignore. Within hours of the USS Gerald R taking station in these contested waters, the carrier began doing what it was built to do, and the demonstration of raw, integrated combat power that followed left allies reassured, rivals watching nervously, and Iranian military commanders, according to multiple regional intelligence reports, in a state of genuine alarm.
Breaking news on the war in the Middle East. Video released by the White House on X this morning shows the moment our military hit an Iranian warship with a torpedo launched by an American submarine. Look at that.
This was not a routine patrol. This was a message delivered with the full weight of American naval supremacy, and it was received exactly as intended. The Ford had barely completed its transit when flight deck operations began at a tempo that immediately distinguished this deployment from anything the region had witnessed in recent memory. Aircraft after aircraft launched from the carrier's deck in rapid succession, the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, EMALS, hurling fully loaded strike fighters into the sky with a speed and efficiency that legacy catapult systems simply cannot match. Watching from shore-based radar installations and satellite surveillance platforms, Iranian military analysts reportedly scrambled to document what they were seeing, feeding urgent assessments back to Tehran. The sortie rates being generated by the Ford were, by any credible measure, extraordinary. Hundreds of sorties per day, fully armed, fully fueled, operating across a wide swath of regional airspace, the kind of sustained air power generation that transforms a single ship into something functionally equivalent to a sovereign air force operating from unsinkable mobile ground. What makes the EMALS demonstration so significant, and what reportedly triggered the sharpest reaction from Iranian defense planners, is not simply the speed of the launches, it is what those launches enable. Because EMALS exerts far less mechanical stress on airframes than conventional steam catapults, aircraft can carry heavier weapons loads at the point of departure. Strike packages that would previously have required weight restrictions can now depart the deck fully armed. Precision-guided munitions, long-range anti-ship missiles, extended-range strike weapons, all of it going airborne faster in greater quantity, and with less wear on the aircraft that will be called upon to repeat the same mission the following day and the day after that. Iranian military doctrine has long been constructed around the assumption that American carrier operations could be degraded through sustained pressure and attrition over time. The Ford's EMALS performance challenged that assumption directly, publicly, and without ambiguity. The air wing embarked aboard the Ford during this deployment is itself a statement of intent that requires no accompanying explanation. FA-18E and FA-18F Super Hornets form the core of the strike capability, aircraft capable of conducting precision strikes, air superiority engagements, and close air support within a single flight. These are modern, continuously upgraded multi-role fighters carrying some of the most sophisticated air-launched weapons in existence. Alongside them, the EA-18G Growler brings an electronic warfare capability that Iranian commanders have every reason to fear deeply. The Growler can suppress enemy radar systems, jam communications frequencies, and methodically degrade the integrated air defense networks that Iran has spent enormous resources constructing and refining over the past 2 decades. In the hours following the Ford's arrival and the commencement of high-tempo flight operations, Iranian state media went notably and conspicuously quiet on the subject, a silence that regional analysts widely interpreted as a sign that the messaging had landed precisely where American planners intended it to land. The E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, operating as the airborne nerve center of the carrier's air wing, extended the Ford's situational awareness far beyond the visible horizon in every direction. Iranian radar operators attempting to track the scope and nature of the carrier's operations found themselves confronted with a battle management architecture specifically designed to deny adversaries the kind of intelligence picture they need to plan any credible response. The Hawkeye sees what ground-based systems cannot reach, coordinates what no single platform could manage independently, and ensures that every aircraft in the air wing operates as part of a seamless networked whole, Reports emerging from regional intelligence channels in the days following the Ford's arrival suggested that Iranian military leadership convened emergency briefings to assess the implications of what American forces were demonstrating at scale. The conclusions those briefings apparently reached were not comfortable ones for Tehran. The flight deck operations, extraordinary as they were, represented only one dimension of the demonstration the Ford delivered. The carrier's AN/SPY-3 radar suite activated across its full operational spectrum, creating a 360-degree surveillance and tracking environment that blanketed the surrounding maritime and aerial space with a density of sensor coverage that no adversary in the region can come close to replicating. Iranian fast attack craft, which Tehran has historically positioned as an asymmetric counter to American carrier power inside the Persian Gulf, found themselves operating under continuous, unblinking observation. Every movement logged, every course change recorded, every patrol pattern mapped in real time by a combat direction center capable of processing more tactical data in 60 seconds than most regional navies handle across an entire operational day. The psychological weight of that kind of persistent surveillance for forces trained to rely on speed and surprise cannot be overstated. The strike group arrayed around the Ford amplified this picture into something approaching comprehensive dominance. Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and a Ticonderoga-class cruiser operated in coordinated formation, their Aegis combat systems providing layered ballistic missile defense that extended protective coverage across a vast geographic footprint. This capability carries enormous significance in the current regional context, given Iran's substantial and well-documented investment in ballistic missile technology and its demonstrated willingness to employ that technology against targets across the surrounding region. The Ford strike group effectively raised the cost of any Iranian missile launch to a level that Iranian planners could not responsibly dismiss or minimize. Operating beneath the surface, invisible and silent, an attack submarine moved through the depths, a reminder that American power in these waters extends into dimensions that surface observation cannot even begin to detect or track. Iranian officials attempted to project calm through public statements and state media in the days following the Ford's arrival. Senior Revolutionary Guard commanders made pointed remarks about Iran's defensive capabilities and its readiness to respond to any provocation, but the gap between the public posture and the private reaction reportedly circulating within Iranian military circles told an entirely different story. Multiple regional intelligence services, according to sources cited across defense and security reporting, indicated that Iranian naval and aerospace commanders were deeply and genuinely unsettled by the operational tempo the Ford was sustaining. The combination of EMALS-enabled sortie rates, Growler electronic warfare suppression, advanced radar coverage blanketing the operational environment, and the layered defensive umbrella provided by the strike group created a combined arms picture that Iran's existing doctrine and available hardware were not positioned to credibly counter under any realistic scenario. The strategic timing of the Ford's arrival and its immediate transition to high-tempo operations was not accidental and was not subtle. The deployment came against a backdrop of sustained Houthi attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea, persistent concerns about Iran's nuclear enrichment activity and the pace at which that program was advancing, and a broader regional security environment in which American commitment and resolve had faced repeated and deliberate tests.